I got some good news, I got some bad news, and we'll round it off with some good news again. Hello, this is Tim with Upward Broadband. I'm here today with a special message that you should care about. First good news is that the new FCC Broadband Maps are here. These maps, for the first time in the United States, seek to address internet availability at an address level at every single home and business in the United States. That's a huge improvement from the previous mapping, which focused on census blocks, on larger areas, and kind of grouped them together. The other thing that's really important about these maps is this data, this information, is being used to distribute the funds from the BEAD program. BEAD stands for Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment. These funds, $42 billion, came from the Infrastructure and Jobs Act in the fall of 2021. So you can see that this is a really important map, not only because it's much more granular than maps have historically been, there's also a lot of funds that will be distributed based on the broadband availability shown on these maps. Unfortunately, what we've discovered with these maps is there are a significant amount of inaccuracies. There's issues like location being shown but the wrong address is associated with it. There's issues showing that the serviceable building on the property is not actually your house or your business. It's a shed, it's a garage, something like that. So we're definitely seeing issues like that. And in our case, with our office location, the FCC actually shows it as not being a broadband serviceable location and basically says this location would not subscribe to internet. We know that's not the case. On top of these location issues, then there's also the concern about, are the providers shown accurately? We're seeing situations where it may say a given cable provider or broadband provider is available at the location, even though we know that it is not. Despite these inaccuracies, the good news is that the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is giving you and I the opportunity to challenge this data so that it's improved and more accurate before these funds are distributed. We feel it's important for you to engage with this data and evaluate it for your home, your business, your location, because not only does that impact how much money comes to your state and is then available for distribution to improve broadband, it could also impact whether or not your home or business is eligible for funds to improve broadband service. So I think you can understand why this is important for you to care about, because this can impact your access to broadband in the future. Fortunately, the FCC recognizes that these maps are not the most accurate, and that given there are a significant amount of funds being distributed based on these maps, there's an opportunity for you to challenge that and provide your input. They're asking you to do that before January 13th of 2023. So to challenge either your location information or the providers available, you can go to broadbandmap.fcc.gov, where you can put in your address and check to ensure your data is correct. If it's not, you can submit a challenge. There's also an About page on the website that gives you some more basic information on how to submit a challenge so that it's included in updates before these funds are distributed.